Eric.
Yes, it is my show. Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Is It Rotten? Today we are talking about a personal favorite of mine, Ed, and Eddy's Big Picture Show. Now, I'm going to go around and I hope that I'm going to get the same answer from all three of you. So, Mac, what was your first experience with this movie?
So let's see, this came out 2009, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if I'm corrected, I was in college. I just so happened to I've gotten out of Ed, and Eddy, and I just heard of Ed, and Eddy's Big Picture Show, and I was like, "What is this?" And I watched it on Cartoon Network when it came out, and I liked it. There we go.
All right. Zach?
I don't remember the exact location where I watched this or anything like that. I
Mhm.
all I know is I was probably in a basement somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
and I just remember I don't actually I didn't hear about it at all. I'm just like, what is this movie you speak of? So remember they did the one movie night thing before
Mm-hmm.
with Ed the special. So I thought it was just gonna be that, but I didn't actually expect it an actual ending to the series.
Yeah, same here.
And I
Yeah.
remember that surprised me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm watching this and I'm like, wait, no, the show's over.
Yeah.
Really?
Because I thought it was just another like special for the first time.
We still got SpongeBob, and you're gonna keep this going? You're gonna stop it here? What the fuck?
All right. Scott?
I saw this for the first time last night. I didn't realize that there was an Ed, and Eddy movie. Like I had
that's
watched the show back in the
yeah.
day, but I never realized that they made a movie.
See, now that is surprising to me. See, but here's the thing. You all have the wrong answer. Because the correct way to have first seen this movie is hearing about this movie online because it aired early in Australia and it was uploaded in 11 parts to YouTube in 2009.
Ah,
That is the correct way to have first watch Ed and Eddy's Big Picture Show because there is nothing more emblematic of that era of YouTube than watching a movie in 11 parts.
Yeah, I remember that
First season
that
looked
time.
that way.
Yeah, I because legitimately, and sort of rolling into this because I clicked on the first part and I got really confused because there's no audio in the beginning of this movie,
Mhm.
and I was just it's like because the beginning of this movie just feels so anti Ed and Nettie that you're unsure of what's going on. And like, especially since I watched this in 11 parts, the first time I watched this was 11 parts on YouTube in 2009. The fact that, oh, no, okay, no, this, and then it just slowly builds into the scene that we see at the beginning of this movie. So, Scott, what was your favorite line from this movie?
I mean, I loved a lot of what Ed says,
Mm-hmm.
just because he's hilarious,
Yeah.
obviously. But I mean, very early on, he says, "Over here, guys, my lumpy mutated horsey will save us," and that got a
That was
huge
pretty
laugh
good.
out of me.
Oh God. Oh God. Yeah. Yeah. Zach.
Best line. I'm really starting to hate slapstick. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, everyone else is wrong. That is the best line.
That is such a good line, especially when you consider what follows that. It's such a great, impactful line. Mac, what is your best line?
I demand you two tickle each other right now.
Oh my God, yeah, we'll get further into that whole scene.
That was funny as hell. I
Yeah,
I stopped and I just like,
yeah.
what the hell? That got me like,
We will go a little more in depth on that scene later. Spoilers, but um, yeah, just that is a very emblematic that word for who Ed is as a character. There's a lot of really good lines in this movie, but nothing to me just feels more Ed, and Eddie, specifically Ed and Eddie as a movie, is in case of movie break glass.
Yeah.
They break the fourth wall so much.
It's so good. It's so good. It's because one of the best parts about this movie is that it is such a love letter to the series as a whole. And but not in a way that's like, oh hey, remember this, because they do the oh hey, remember this in regular ass episodes of Ed and Eddie.
Mhm.
It's like Ed and Eddie has surprisingly solid continuity throughout. And the fact that
the episode they literally threw continuity away.
yeah. Yeah. But that episode's like so incredibly surreal, and it's great for its own reasons. But it's like just the fact that, they're able to call back to so many different episodes, both directly and indirectly, is so good. So Mac, what is your best scene?
I like the opening car chase.
Oh my god!
The
Oh my
opening
god!
chase scene was amazing. It was a great chase scene. It was the most. After watching watching the series, I'll be like, I've seen a lot of chase scenes in this series. That is like the most epic chase scene, because you don't know because at the beginning of the show you don't know we still don't know what the fuck they did. Whatever they did was very bad. I mean, if you watch Ed and Eddie, they do a lot of stupid shit to these guys, but for them to chase them the way they did in that opening scene, you're still asking to this day, what the fuck did they do?
Yeah,
because it was really bad. They did some. I mean, they literally they messed up Jimmy's teeth with a bowling pin, and I'm sitting there thinking, what could they possibly have done?
Yeah. Rolf had like a bite taken out of his abdomen,
which was stitched back on, and the stitch marks are visible at the end of the movie. This movie has incredible continuity, by the way.
Oh yeah. It's just
for something that doesn't even need it.
Yeah. It's that beginning chase scene. It's such a great sequence, and like even through the chase scene, because not only is it so good, it has everybody, even as they're mad, is still very in character mad, and as they're panicking are still very in character panicking, and it's still a very in character way that they get out of the end of the chase scene. And it even goes down to Ed being self-sacrificing, and then both of them just like, fuck no, we're not leaving you behind.
I mean, the whole opening like 20 minutes feels like Mad Max Fury Road.
Yes.
It's insane.
Yes, absolutely.
And it's relentless.
Yes,
it just
absolutely.
keeps going.
I love
it. So then Scott, we'll roll into you. What is your best scene?
I mean, it was that.
Yeah.
But I also liked whenever Johnny went down into a secret lair.
He came out of the whole Melonhead secret lair.
I mean, I love Johnny. I love Plank.
Johnny is a probably of the neighborhood kids my favorite of the neighborhood kids.
Yeah, but he's black.
Yeah.
I guess, but he's literally done nothing to nobody,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get to Johnny later.
Definitely later. Yeah, we'll get to Johnny later.
Yeah. So Zach, what was your best scene?
I liked Naz getting fed up with Kevin finally.
Yes. My God.
Yes.
Oh my God. Part of me, and it's like you don't want to blame her, but it's like, do you not understand? He only cares about the bike.
Yeah. I mean, a very important thing. It's like people like when watching this, you need to keep in the back of your head. These are middle schoolers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I definitely think that Kevin.
Sarah.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure Jimmy and Sarah are shown to go to Peach Creek Junior High, at least in the specials. I think they're probably like sixth graders.
Yeah.
At I think it's probably the main cast are eighth graders. Jimmy and Sarah are sixth graders. Is about where I think that
Okay.
lands. Oh, and Jimmy is in the last actual episode. Jimmy definitely goes to the school, so because that there was a whole like fight sort of thing between him and Double D.
Right.
Uh, anyway, my best scene is the ultimate blow up between Double D and Eddie. Just
Yeah,
that
that was good.
ultimate boiling point that we all throughout the series knew was coming. Because like they talk about how many episodes they've gone through, all the shit they've gone through. It's 132 episodes, 4 specials in a movie worth of tension between these two characters to the point that Double D just can't take it anymore. And ultimately, them faking their deaths was the thing that pushed him over the goddamn edge. And it's so everything about that scene is ultimately so cathartic because they both say the things that they need to say. Double D needs to voice that I'm really fed up with the way you treat me. And he's like, fuck, yes, it is my fault. I'm sorry. He's like, I really care more about you as a friend than my need to be right.
Or cool or whatever.
Yeah. It's it's such a it's such a great end point to their fighting. Because like after that point, they don't fight for the rest of the movie. It's such a good capstone to that basically series long tension. You know, it's really good. It's really good. And it's the kind of thing that you can do when you have a series finale movie.
Yeah.
So this was always meant to be like the series finale.
This was always meant to be the series finale. Because I think the show was off the air for like a year by the time this movie came out.
Mhm.
Like I think like maybe the Alien episode, which was held off for like a special because there were like 5 alien themed episodes.
Yeah, that was that
That
time when everything was that Cartoon Network was doing that alien thing.
yeah. There was there was definitely an episode of Camp Laszlo that was a part of that. Ed Eddy was in it, and then like 3 other cartoons had alien themed episodes, and they were all blocked together. Like in an Ed Eddy one, they thought that Rolf's relatives were aliens, which was it's a good episode, but it's the actual last episode that aired before that was better. But yeah, this was always intended to be the series finale, the capstone of Ed and Eddy, and it fits. But
It says he spent 2 years working on it before it was released.
But ultimately, there are a few shortcomings, and no matter how amazing this movie is, there are some shortcomings. And I am going to start with the worst scene, in my personal opinion. It is the fact that Johnny did not make it to the ending in time so that he was still mad at the Eds by the end because he was fucking late.
Yeah,
Because and because of that, they decide to beat the shit out of him, which feels wrong to me.
yeah, that was really my worst thing. You just took it.
Yeah, because the main issue I have with that as a whole is that over the course of the series, you could argue that the closest neighborhood kid that they have to a friend is Johnny, and that really pisses me off. That specifically really pisses me off.
Could it come back? Is everybody still like around that could make another one?
Yeah, I know. It's because it feels wrong to continue past this because you feel like if they were to do a continuation to this, they would have to walk back a lot of the resolution from this movie if they wanted to continue the series. Because it's like what would you do after the end of the series other than just have them make up with Johnny, you know? Mac, I will give you time to figure out a second scene as I go to Zach.
I didn't like the whole cankers with the Jimmy thing. That was weird.
Yeah.
The baby thing was really weird.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
May's off, but she's usually not that off. You know?
It is. It's like, because like the biggest thing about the cankers is that first off, I as soon as they showed up, I'm like, okay, wait, how far into the movie are we before the cankers actually show up? We were 35 minutes into this hour, 35-minute movie before the cankers showed up. It's like, oh my god, they actually waited a long time to bring the cankers in. And yeah, the cankers have always had that air of being problematic. They're problematic in the ending as well.
I was gonna mention that, but I decided not to.
Yeah.
It's about to turn to knock knock.
Yeah. Because the thing is, it's like when you think about the cankers just being middle schoolers that are unable to process their emotions towards the eds. It's one thing when they're potentially sexually assaulting an adult and making Jimmy wear a diaper. It's a completely different thing.
Yeah, that was going to be my answer again. Damn it, you took the second one.
No, I mean, we could talk about it. We could talk about it.
Yeah, that was going to be my answer. Just them dragging Ed's brother into his house, and I'm like, oh, we're going there.
Yeah,
we're going there. Okay,
makes me wonder if that was just not thought out at all. It's like, oh yeah, the cankers do their shit at the end, blah blah blah, end of movie.
Yeah, because the reason why the slapstick feels wrong at the end of this movie, which is a wild thing that they're able to accomplish, because they definitely go through more physical torment through the rest of the movie. But the fact that this is a full-grown adult doing this to these middle schoolers makes it feel wrong in a way that is, again, I hate to use this word again.
I love that all the kids get us wrong right away.
Yeah,
it's like kids, they know. Wait, this isn't our normal ha hit each other. This is something else, and they know.
Yeah, it's like they're all able to be like, no, this isn't right. Hold on, wait a second.
Yeah, this isn't about right. Eddie being a liar. This is about something deeper.
Yeah, they're watching a future multiple therapy sessions play out in front of them. All right, Scott.
Well, I was gonna pick the Canker Sisters scene also. The Wet Willy specifically got me.
Oh God, yeah, that's another one. God,
with all the sound effects.
That is so old school bullying.
Yeah.
Do kids even do that to each other anymore?
Yeah, because
I hope not, but probably.
The one thing that I not to just shit on the Canker storyline in this movie, because it does have its benefits. They do have some great scenes fucking with the other kids. But the one thing I will say in defense of the Cankers in this movie is that they make Sarah remember that the reason that she's able to get away with things is that Ed won't hit her. It's like, and she's like, she approaches the Cankers as she would Ed, and then immediately gets bodied. Then she's like, wait, no, I can't go against the Cankers the way I would go against Ed. I have to go against the Cankers the way I would against Eddie. And she does that and pulls it off. It's great remembering that Sarah is more than just being a brat.
Yeah.
And the Cankers are actually able to really underline that. Yeah. And now that we've thoroughly trashed the Canker sisters with a little bit of redemption, I will say that worst line. Let's start with Max so nobody takes us this time.
Yeah, the Sexton joke. The Sexton joke. I just
Really?
yeah, I didn't get. It didn't hit. It was
there is a reason that I have to constantly say these are middle schoolers. These are middle schoolers, and this is the best way that they can do. This is the best way they can do a sex joke.
It just didn't. It didn't vibe with me a little bit. Look,
I get it. It does go on way too long.
It goes on way too long.
It goes on way too long.
I'm like, all right, dude, it was funny, and I was like, okay, you're dragging the joke a little bit. Let it go. They just didn't know how to let it.
I thought they killed the joke so far it came back to life. So.
Yeah.
If that were to happen, I wish it would have kept going.
Yeah.
I feel like the actual punchline to this joke is that they spent all this time, haha, it's Sexton, haha, Sexton. Well, I'm going to use this Sexton to find the joke factory. Just immediately crashes into the factory.
Yeah.
That is the actual punchline to that scene. It just takes too long.
Takes too damn long. Yeah, I just didn't like that line. It's just like the Sexton joke. Just like
yeah. That I get that.
Yeah.
Scott.
It's Eddie's brother saying, "Why is your girlfriend wearing a sock on her head?"
Yeah,
talking about Double D.
Place.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure that there has been soft confirmation by Danny Antonucci that Double D is in fact trans and would when grows up becomes a woman.
Interesting.
Soft confirmation
that feels a little bit
so
Dumbledore was gay all along.
It's soft confirmation in like a reply to a tweet,
Yeah,
or like a reply to a Q&A, something along those lines. It's one of those things. Is like it was said, it was not published in anything other than social media, but it is yes along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
But doesn't make that line any more excusable. Unless eventually Eddie and Double D start dating, which, to be fair, they get very close to kissing at the end of the movie.
Well, if all that does happen with Double D and his their future, then I don't think Eddie's brother knew about that at the time.
Oh God, no. All right, Zach.
I don't really have one. I've been trying to find one.
Yeah. No.
All I want to say is, did Rolf seem not entirely on point to anyone else?
Yeah,
I was kind of like zoned out during a lot of his scenes, honestly.
Normally he's a lot. His like scenes are a lot sharper than that. So.
Yeah, I genuinely think they didn't really know what to do with Rolf for most of the runtime.
Yeah, like he loses his pig and like
he has no personal growth.
Yeah, it's like
it's
like after Johnny's like lack of screen time in this movie, Rolf also kind of gets the short end of the stick in this movie, which also kind of sucks. Like
honestly, my biggest problem is that they're all separated for too long.
Yeah,
like it takes too long for them to get back together. Because that opening 20 minutes is awesome, where they're all like chasing each other.
Do that ending without that though.
Yeah,
true.
You need them to like arrive at the last second and kind of see things for what they are.
Yeah, I feel like they really should have paired Rolf and Johnny up. If because part of the reason why we get so much screen time with Naz and Kevin is because they're paired up so that their screen time gets shared, so they get more stuff to do. They get
maybe
people
it
to
would be
bounce
better if
off
like
of.
there were like fewer groups, like just
Yeah.
maybe like two or
Like,
three groups.
Like if it was uh like Rolf and Johnny together and they were doing a lot of like what the fuck was it called? The Suburban Scouts. If there was a lot
Oh,
of
right.
Suburban Scout stuff that they were doing together, that I think would have improved both their storylines.
They were Force Rangers. Oh no, yeah.
Yeah. If because there was no there it was a surprising lack of Suburban Scouts references in this. You know? It's one of the better recurring things in Ed, and Eddie, and it did feel like, you know, they're out in the wilderness, probably should have brought up the Suburban Scouts, but whatever. Uh Personally, the line that I hate the most was the quick exchange where they're doing the Wizard of Oz reference for no reason. Where Eddie says, "You don't have a brain." Then Ed replies, "Oh, have a heart, Eddie." And then Double D says, "Courage, Edward, courage." I fucking that scene always just felt weird and out of place to me.
Yeah, what? I guess because they're on like a little journey, sort
Yeah.
of.
Follow the yellow brick road, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It just felt weird and out of place. And the fact that none of you caught on to that means that it didn't serve its purpose. But yeah, we talked about the good, we've talked about the bad. Now let's ask the ultimate question and the point of this show. Scott, is this movie rotten?
Yes. No. I'm
What?
No, this is a fun movie. Like as far as like movies meant for like kids, this was like something that would definitely like have held my attention at the time. It was something that just like I completely missed. I had no idea existed. But I'd probably give this like 70. Yeah, I think so. But I'm gonna give it a 69 just to give it a 69.
Just to make a sextant joke?
Just to make a sextant joke.
All right, Mac. Is Ed and Eddie's Big Picture Show rotten?
It's better than Cripple Boys Tribe. I'll tell you that. It's way better by country mile. So no, it is not.
It could still be rotten and be better than Gryffindor's Tribe.
It's true. It's I would give it I'm gonna give this a 75. I think this is literally a fresh film. I think it's fair to give it a 75. It's not quite an 80 because 80 is kind of you're getting in the realm of like this is close to perfect as possible, but 75 is fair to me.
All right. Zach, is Ed and Eddie's Big Picture Show rotten?
No, but we all knew this. Honestly, it's just a fun movie.
Yeah.
It's just a fun kids movie instead of a kids movie parading this adults movie, which we watched earlier. I love Ed, and Eddie. I always have. I always love the art style. I loved watching this and seeing cartoon characters be filthy again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because nowadays, like you throw a cartoon character in a dumpster and what he comes up with a banana peel. No.
Yeah.
These guys, this is filth. I love
Yeah.
it.
I love the little nod, by the way, that when they crash the car and Eddie gets reconstituted, he's the only one, once he gets sucked back up, he's the only one who's no longer battle damaged.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a good.
It sounds like something from that weird episode.
Yeah, it's like it's like, they scoot him out of the window, crashes, comes back together, and he's like perfectly fine. And then the next scene, everybody's also perfectly fine. And again, I just really need to call out the fact that Ed has no shoe the entire movie, and consistently down to Rolf tracking the footsteps of them with one shoe print, one footprint. Ed does not have a shoe for the entirety of this movie.
I did
Okay,
notice
I got a
that.
quick
I just didn't
question.
know. I didn't notice the footprint thing, but I noticed
Yeah.
him not having a shoe.
What's up?
What the fuck is up with Double D's head?
We don't know. This
We
was
don't
the end
know.
of the series, and we never found out.
Yeah. We know
Yeah.
that this is not the first time that they've seen it.
Yeah.
Because they have seen it in the past and they were shocked the first time.
Yeah, they're
And
clearly
they
freaked.
were definitely no, they were overplaying it purposefully this time because they have seen it before. They are no longer shocked by it.
Yeah,
Now
but
they're
they were
just
doing a
playing up
little.
to mess with them.
They were doing a little Austin Powers and hiding it.
Yeah. Yeah. So somebody asked me.
Hey,
Eric.
hey, Eric, why
Not you.
is Ed, Ed and Eddie rotten?
Absolutely not. Jesus. This movie, it is the pinnacle of what you want to do for a cartoons movie. It 100% keeps the spirit of the show. It feels in line with the universe of the show. It's like this
Well, like
like
recontextualizes the universe.
it does recontextualize a lot of the show. The fact that they went out of their way and like, by the way, here's a web. This is all the references that we have made to Eddie's brother over the course of the series on that spider's web, which was a really nice touch. It's like there's so many small things that are really good attention to detail, like Johnny freaking out in public, calling back to the city episode. You know, again, all the references to that, yeah, Ed really really loving chickens and naming the boat the SS mutant almost a chicken duck. This movie, it's just everything that you want a series finale to, in my opinion, probably one of the best cartoons of at least its era, if not in all of Cartoon Network. Doesn't really get the credit that it deserves, but literally every time that like you're watching a YouTube video and you hear somebody use an Ed and Eddie soundbite, like when you hear somebody use that and like, oh, that's an Ed and Eddie reference. They don't have to say it that it's an Ed and Eddie reference. You just intrinsically know that it is because this is just it's so ingrained. This, the absolute atmosphere of this movie with of the show and the movie with the soundtrack, all the the way that everything sounds and looks and feels, it's so absolutely perfect. So I have to give this movie an 80.
All
I
right.
have to. Like, I was like this movie, like it. I love the Rugrats movie. This movie blows the Rugrats movie out of the water, in my
Yep.
personal opinion. Oh, but we are now moving on to the final segment of the show, where I've given a little bit of a caveat to the usual rules of our sequel pitches, reboot pitches. It's that I am allowing you guys to pitch an episode of Ed, Ed, and Eddie that would take place before the movie, because you can't pitch an episode. You can't pitch an episode of Ed, Ed, and Eddie that takes place after this movie. It just doesn't happen. So I am actually going to start on this. So the name of this episode is video editing. Obviously, spelling editing with the emphasis on ed, as episode titles of the show tend to do. So it starts off. It's going to be a late season episode, a late series episode. So it will take place in the school. The one location of the show that is not shown in this, they went out of their way to show literally every other location of the show except for the school, which is a nice touch because it very clearly they're in the summer based on their attire. Anyway, it starts off, they're all getting ready. They're all in school. they're all going in, and then Double D is talking. He's like, I hope everybody's, all prepared for the video assignment that we all had. And then Eddie's like, what are you talking about? It's like the assignment that we have, Eddie. I've worked on it. I've worked on mine so much. I'm like, and then it shows. It's literally just he plays a video, and it's just Double D uh, going on this long tangent about it. It just recorded. It's like that's just some boring science shit. That obviously doesn't say shit. And like goes through it, and like Ed has made like his own little sci-fi movie. Eddie has nothing. And so he's like, what the hell am I gonna do? So like, give me that sock, Ed. And he takes Double D's video. He's like, I'm gonna give this back to you later. So he goes in, he's like, he sneaks his way into the AV club and edits Double D's, makes a copy of Double D's thing and decides to move things around. So what he does is he makes a YouTube poop out of Double D's lecture. And he just makes Double D say some insane shit. Also as a way to call back to, again, early YouTube, Ed and Eddie, real big in the YouTube poop scene.
Mm-hmm.
So Eddie, he's just cackling while he's doing this, sends it, and then presents it. We hear clips of, what he's making Double D say while he's doing it. Obviously, we don't see the presentation. We're not allowed to see adults in this show. It's just a proven fact. So it's after the fact, and it's just Double D fucking furious at him. And then the rest of the episode, it's the rest of the kids bullying Double D for the things that Eddie made him say in the video, up until the point where Double D manages to get his revenge on Eddie at the end and making his own YouTube poop of Eddie. And that is video editing.
All right, nice. You want me to go next, don't you? Because y'all want to get mine's out of the way, don't you?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you said you had something, so we'll
Okay. So mine is going to be a spinoff. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take Johnny. Because I'm gonna use the end of the show, and I'm gonna take Johnny, and we're gonna take him to a psych ward, and we're gonna literally try to get him. We're gonna see. For a long time, we see Johnny with Plank, and I understand we need to do this, but this is sort of like an Adult Swim type of show. We're gonna get Johnny literally in a psych ward of him actually getting better, him trying to blend into reality. So basically, I want to call this show Johnny's Head. So what you're seeing when he's in the psych ward, you're basically seeing the world through his eyes, and he's seeing these different people. Actually, in this series, Plank in this episode in Johnny's Head, you actually can actually hear Plank talk. Plank can actually talk. So we're hearing what Plank can say. That's basically what he's saying, because he can use Johnny don't need just Plank. He can use in different things, because they did try to take Plank around, and they gave him a rock, and yeah, we know how that goes, because the rock was literally talking junk about his mom and everything. I just want to do a show where it's just in Johnny's head, and it's just Johnny actually trying to them trying to get Johnny better, because the point of the show is I don't know how do we fix that, because obviously he's not wanted in the cul-de-sac. So let's try to find a way to make him.
I'm really not sure where you need to fix. That's what I don't get.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
The cul-de-sac.
I mean, Johnny's perfectly happy as is.
Yeah. I mean, it's also very clear that Blank definitely is some sort of sentient.
He drove a bus.
He drove a bus. A plank of wood drove a bus.
Who voices Plank?
He changed the location from downtown to Vengeance.
I get it. I get it. I'm just trying to say they might say everybody else he might be sentient, but his parents might not think he's sentient. You know what I'm saying?
Who
I
plays Plank in your show?
Who plays
Like, who's the
Plank?
voice?
Who's going to be the voice?
Yeah,
So it's going to
if we're gonna
cost money.
finally hear his voice.
You know what? It's Keith David.
I was actually gonna say
That's not
Denzel.
bad.
I was
I was
gonna
thinking
say,
Clancy Brown.
yeah, we were all thinking around the same.
No, I was thinking of what I was thinking about was what was it from Meet Wyatt from
Mm-mm.
Aqua Teen Hunger Force when he actually you hear him nothing motherfucker he peed on he did not feed us he peed on me bitch stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm just picturing Keith David doing that, and once again it's Adult Swim so you can say whatever you want, so I'm just picturing his voice like, well, it seems like you're having a tough time, Johnny. Well, just don't pee on me again.
I will say, Scott, Clancy Brown can voice that shoe.
It
That
can.
was one of the temporary friends.
Well. Like I said,
That
he's the main. Like in my show, yes, it's Keith David, but there will be different voices. Like I'm gonna get Dana Gould voicing one of the characters. Yes, Dana Gould. I don't know. I'm going on the Dana Gould kick on here. Voicing one of the characters. Yeah, it'll be funny.
I
Now,
feel like the joke should be that Johnny is sane, but Plank isn't.
look, I think I got a good one right here. This is not a bad.
Yeah, it's like they separate Johnny from Plank, and then he's like in the room with the psychologist.
Mhm.
So he's they're separated for a while, and then the psychologist starts hearing Keith David's voice coming from Plank, and that's the first time we hear Plank in the series.
Yeah, exactly. Like, but it's look. I think I got a good one here. I don't think it's a bad idea.
Yeah,
I think this is out of all the ideas, this is not the most convoluted bullshit I had. This is actually pretty good.
Johnny 2x4 back with board.
There we go.
All right.
I got
next?
something.
Yeah.
I got an idea.
Okay.
All right. So the Eds are desperate for jawbreakers. They need to make some money so that they can pay for some jawbreakers. It's been weeks since their last one. Eddie learns about a local college giving out grant money for scientific exploits. And he comes up with a scheme where he pretends that he has discovered a lost tribe of people.
You son of a bitch! We're not doing that shit.
Unironically,
that he calls Ed Plank.
Unironically, that's just the Yucky Boys. That's just the Yucky Boys. They already did that.
Yep.
But they do blackface this time.
That's just the Yucky
Boys.
Boys.
Yo, the Monkey Boys. You're talking about the Monkey Boys episode?
Or Eddie's tribe.
You're talking about the Monkey Ball. The Monkey Boys.
The Yucky Boys episode is where they keep talking about the Yucky Boys. And then they're like, let's go find these Yucky Boys. And then they just have to fucking cover themselves in mud.
I thought that was the Monkey Boys because
no, it's the Yucky Boys.
Yeah, because that's when Sarah literally finds out who they are, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And you thought this show was better than Krippendorf's tribe.
It is.
It is because they did a better job in.
They put a whole more better.
Fair enough.
They had a better daggone slogan. That was better than Shumbo Wumbo. I can quote that better.
All right, Zach, you got anything?
I want to alter the end.
Okay.
I want to get rid of the scene that makes everyone feel icky. And I wanted to reveal that the cul-de-sac is underneath one of the sores from the Brothers Grunt. If you know what the Brothers Grunt is, you know that's his previous work. I just feel like making a reference that nobody wants is exactly something he would do.
You know what? You're not wrong.
Like he could sell it as special edition with alternate end. So that's all I want to do.
Yeah. Fair. The alternate
So mine
ending
was the
where-
best. We agree that mine was the best, right?
the alternate ending.
no. Actually, you did a me. you pull for once. You pull a me. I don't want to
Hey,
watch.
I'm the only one who pitched something that was actually already an episode of Ed, Edd n Eddy.
The alternate ending where after they beat the shit out of Johnny, they calmly explain what the fuck happened at the end of the movie.
We beat Johnny up.
He's like,
because-
oh, oops.
Oops, we didn't mean to do that. We thought he was crazy.
Like I feel like if somebody actually explained to Johnny what happened, he would have just actually laughed it off and went about his business.
You know, he doesn't care. Like Johnny is actually probably closer to being like okay with everyone than like Ed, Edd n Eddy, because he's like he just takes it as it comes.
Mm-hmm.
Like watch the show.
Yep.
All right, this was another episode of Is It Rotten?
Whose turn is next?
I think what was the last episode we did before we?
I think it was Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
No, I don't think so.
No, I think it was.
wasn't?
I think it was. I think it was Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
If that's the case, then that means I'm next.
Yeah.
And you wanted to do Friday Night Lights, was it?
No, Friday Night Lights. No,
Or
fuck
any
no.
given
That's
Sunday?
that's fresh.
I'm sorry, all sports movies really run together for me.
No. So I said any given. So here's the thing. I could pick any given Sunday. Hmm.
You don't want to save that for when we all do sports movies?
You know he's seen enough.
Hold on. Give me a second.
That's the Brothers Grunt if you've never seen it.
Oh God.
In all its glory. Yeah, no, this is the okay, this series, if people don't know, was made because somebody bet him, he like basically told him, hey, why don't you make a normal show? And this is what comes out.
It's like
It scares me.
I think it was specifically they dared him to make a kid show.
Yeah.
And then it became one of the most successful shows on Cartoon Network.
So okay, so here's the thing. I'm willing. So I'm gonna make. So seeing that, I'm gonna give Zach a choice, because if Zach makes his choice, he's gonna hate it because it's between two things he don't like: sports and another film he don't like that actually Scott likes, and he's gonna beg you to do it. So
Is it the Bench Warmers with Rob Schneider?
that's on my list, but not
I don't
yet.
even know how that's on your list. I thought we learned our lesson with Deuce Bigelow.
No, we're not doing. Yeah, we learned. Boy, how many times we had to teach you this lesson, man?
Fine, Surf Ninjas.
No. Any given Sunday or Bebe's Kids.
I've already watched Baby's Kids.
We haven't done a review on it, but which one you want to do?
Oh, I will not be watching Baby's Kids again.
All right, then we're doing any given Sunday. Any given Sunday, because
I've seen it
everybody.
twice in my life now. I do not need a third.
Any given Sunday, we're going to be
All right.
watching any given Sunday. So we're all going to be fighting for that inch, damn it. That inch. We're going for that inch.
All right.
And every day we're going for that inch. Day by day.
You know, that set goes a lot weirder if you think of it as a dick going into a butt while you say that.
Well,
Yeah.
do you not know how much cocaine? Do you not know how much cocaine Al Pacino was probably on when he made that when he was in that film?
Anyway.
No, I don't.
He probably was on a lot. Look. I'm being honest. He said he was on it. So he was on some drugs when he was making some films. So he said that himself. There's interviews where he said that, but he said that.
Do actors even like lie about doing drugs anymore?
Wait,
I don't think.
wait, you're telling me Scarface did coke? That's crazy.
Wait, is Scarface rotten?
What?
I doubt it.
Yeah, I can't imagine Scarface.
Then
is
again,
rotten.
I've been shocked before. So
I
If
mean,
it's
there's some
rotten-
great movies that are rotten, but like
No, it's not rotten.
Scarface is like a classic.
It's 80. It's in the 80s.
okay, didn't that movie bomb when it first came out?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
think
you know
people
what?
didn't like initially like it, but like
You know what didn't exist when that movie came out? Internet reviews.
right.
All right. So
Like
yeah,
Con Air is rotten, and Con Air is one of the best movies of all time.
And rotten.
and rotten.
No, it can be rotten and fun to watch.
Anyway, we're definitely going to be doing Any Given Sunday, and that's going to be fun as hell. And I cannot wait to talk about
All
Any
right.
Given Sunday. Yes.
All right.
Jamie
So-
Foxx, starring Jamie Foxx, LL Cool J, Lawrence Taylor, who was definitely on a bunch of drugs when he made this film.
And a bunch of dudes hanging dong.
Exactly. And
It's the
Cameron
only thing I remember
Diaz.
about that movie.
And Cameron Diaz.
All right. Goodbye, everybody. See you next time.
Bye. Fuck.